I always liked that song from Draken. Very somber. Welcome back to another chapter of Final Combat. Last time, we just went through some pep talks as Caro actually spilled the beans to Taven that Dagon was responsible for killing their parents. And he was also responsible for imprisoning Caro against his will as he created the Red Dragons until the Orientals saved him. And apparently he saved Orin too, because Taven, as he went to Orin's cave, he found a parched paper letter stating from Orin that he was saved by that same Oriental, and he was ambushed by Quan Chi until the Oriental finished him and forced him out of the cavern and into the Netherrealm. And Quan Chi confirmed this to Shinnok's stronger doppelganger, even to Dagon. And Shinnok was actually impressed about this mysterious Oriental, but his main focus was on Dagon to present the prize, claiming Blaze's flames by his defeat. And meanwhile, Caro was discussing with Kung Lao and Aiko, who were recovering in the Dragon Grotto from their Netherrealm incident, their voyage, their climb up Shinnok's spire. And Shinnok, the real one, had transmitted messages through Aiko's heart gems. Raiden was receiving visions, so was she and Kung Lao, even reliving Aiko's dystopian future, and a vision of an engraving that its head was missing. And Caro came to the conclusion that Blaze is not only the embodiment of the end, but also capable in destruction, like total destruction, of not just a mortal's vessel, but also their spirit, disallowing them to move on, as if they faded from existence. So, that's pretty scary. There are fates worse than death, as Raiden once said in MK10. So, let's begin. Alright, continuation 7, Altruism. Caro, Kung Lao, and Aiko had suddenly slumbered, just taking a relaxing nap, while simultaneously healing from their hellish endeavors. A hand brushed over and slightly shook the cardiokinetic awake, even when a gleam of light awakened the remainder of the duo. Through their groggy vision, Caro and Kung Lao noticed, Lord Raiden. Come, we must meet up with our distant compatriots. How long have we been out of it? I don't remember dozing off. Only a few hours. More disturbing visions entered my mind. Aiko's expression changed. Raiden, we think that my heart gems can be tapped by Shinnok. We think that whatever plans we have, the real Shinnok would use his gem and the double would manipulate our plans. You may be right, Aiko. Then we should discard them. Leave them at the academy if we should plan ahead. But we would still need them as a power source. Perhaps we should leave them here and use them when the time is right for the Battle of Armageddon. Tinkling sound emitted from the side pocket. Raiden took out his amulet in which the fractures became deeper across its clear... A tinkling sound emitted from the side pocket. Raiden took out his amulet in which the fractures became deeper across its clear, fragile face. He was a bit surprised it hadn't revealed any shards yet. Time is running out. Armageddon is drawing nearer. Master Raiden, the fallen elder god Shinnok. He is conspiring and plotting with Dagon. He seems to be his right-hand henchman. I despised what he'd done, and he may use him for ascension if he beats Blaze. This put the duo in alarm. But he can't cross over, can he? Impossible. Raiden signaled the trio to pause as he closed his eyes. His mind then shifted back when he placed the accursed amulet of Shinnok inside the Temple of Elements. Just millennia ago, after Earth's destruction. No, he cannot traverse to another realm as long as his amulet is sealed. It is safe. We need to discard Aiko's heart gems. Shinnok can surveil us, and Nightwolf has bound Onaga there too. However, he had theorized that Shinnok's weaker self can produce antimatter, which in turn can form portals. Alas, aside from me, this is probably how the Red Dragons and Dagon had entered the other realms. We must wait on our allies. The special forces are transpiring as we speak, along with the Lin Kuei, making last-minute preparations. Liu Kang and Kitana would rally up the Edenians and Outworlders. I only hope it's not too late, if our enemies shall break free and expedite Armageddon. Meanwhile, inside the Edenian throne room, I must apologize for never informing you sooner, Mother. And to the rest of you loyal subjects, I do not wish to have you all alarmed. This is indeed a travestying moment, daughter. However, it hasn't been inevitable. What do you mean, Your Majesty? The Pyramid of Argus, champion. It is a structure created by the protector god of Edenia. Before Shao Kahn usurped the realm, he and Delia led it into prosperity. Delia, however, is but mortal, a sorcerer, and even an oracle with talented pyro. An oracle? As in, she can tell the future? Precisely. Their sons Taven and Dagon are demigods, each one possessing Delia's elemental prowess. They had always been in competition with each other, to see who the better kin were. Like rivaling for the Olympics in Earthrealm. They were put into sleep, and only their guardian dragons, Orin and Caro, were charged in watching over them until Armageddon should strike. The Elder Gods foresaw this catastrophe, and so legend had it that Delia was the only one who could receive these premonitions, and thus passed on these daunting visions to Argus, who in turn put his sons into slumber for millennia. So, what of Blaze? Liu became desperate. Raiden and I had nightmares about him, rising atop the pyramid as if some volcano. With Delia's incredible might, she was able to create this fire spawn. By her own two hands, she and Argus tasked him to destroy all warriors involved, even if their sun should clash. It's the only way to rebalance the universe. So, It isn't just the war we need to be concerned of, but the Hellspawn as well. He assured me my enemies would be wiped out for good. No. Blaze is capable of destroying everyone, and perhaps all of the realms. We must stop him before he would do so, and decimate all of existence. Our objective would be to reach the top of the pyramid and take on Blaze, although our enemies would interfere. I wonder if we would deal with all of our enemies at one time. Wait, greeted... Oh. Which is why you will need reinforcements. To everyone's shock, in came Baraka from the opaque arched entryway. Forgive me, your majesties, he humbled as he knelt with his arm blades slanted down. I've been hearing the murmurs of Armageddon. Nothing but bloodshed. Us Tarkatans wouldn't seize our insatiable appetite for destruction, and Outworld is your neighboring realm. We cannot risk any victims. Baraka, I'm actually honored for once you would join us. But, Master, Raiden said that he didn't want to put the Saurians' lives in danger. I guess it would say the same with you guys. Precisely. It is only up to us, the best fighters, to strike down our adversaries. Liu Kang, stop! Wait, what? Master? Liu Kang, you must rid of the heart gems you, Sindel, and Kitana have. They are all tapped by Shinnok. Everyone was flabbergasted. What are you implying, Raiden? Shinnok had mimicked Aiko's cardiokinesis, and he is still in the Netherrealm. He has created his own dark heart of concentrated energy, and he would spy on our plans. What? What must we do? Get rid of them. Keep them away. We would still need them in the foreboding fight. Sindel, is there any way we can compromise them? Shura just rose a hand and carried the jewels to a distant table. All he did was conjure a line field around them. This may prevent their reception. Whew. Guess there's no point in holding them and hiding them. So, I was thinking maybe... There's always... me. Liu, what are you saying? Yes, he is the champion... Oh. Yes, he is the champion of his realm. He has faced and won many of our adversaries. Shang Tsung, Shinnok, the Unholy Alliance, and he assisted against Onaga. And he is still a Firebringer. He may just withstand and perhaps decimate Blaze. But that won't be enough, Goro. He was created by Delia. A mortal cannot stabilize against him. After all, Argus and Delia were slain, leaving Edenia vulnerable to Khan's conquest after his 10 straight victories. Even Onaga can't stop him. His voice was beginning to crack. I cannot stand being his forced wife again. And if Shao Kahn should ever return... She bit her tongue, and her face suddenly fell, wearing a composure of great sorrow. Sherrod and Jade tended her, sharing her grief. Kitana raced up the stairwell and did the same. Liu just couldn't bear to watch the motherly figure break down. She plopped on the throne, and his fist clenched as tight as an airlock, and as hot, ready to combust. He became more determined. Sindel, I will defeat Shao Kahn and prevent Edenia to fall again in his dominance. I promise. I'll bring an end to Blaze as well, if you can count on it. I'll defeat all our foes once and for all. Kitana reached for him, worried for both of their welfares. Father, if I should ever lose you two again, Kenshi can still reverse the curse. Unlike maybe rely on Nightwolf and use his tools for protection. Besides, if there's anyone I want to mop the tile floor with, it's Tanya. Well, that's a first. That is an excellent strategy, Jade. We mustn't charge irrationally and be tactful with the situation. Indeed, before we get to Blaze, we would wipe out their numbers one at a time. Where's Kintaro? He's licking his wounds. Li Mei, are you certain you want to partake this task? This isn't like your guard duties. It's a matter of life and death. She just made a curtsy. I must, my queen. Bo Raicho had a lot of faith in me. As the lucky survivor of Sundo, this can prove my chance as a warrior. I have not much to live for if all the realms should crumble. I see. There may just be two factions, perhaps an army of dark and one with light. Alright, who's saying this one? Oh. If it is that arbitrary, then there may be a power struggle with some of them, like the Deadly Alliance or with Khan, pinned against Onaga. These two abhor each other. If we could just cut down their numbers by putting them against themselves, then maybe there's a chance. I kind of see where you're going with this. You seem to be the level-headed one, champion. Little did the group knew there was a couple pairs of neon green eyes piercing through the dark corners of the balcony. Back in the Linkway temple, Frost, Kwai, and Smoke were preoccupied with Raiden's summons concerning Armageddon. The Linkway received word quickly of the coming calamity, most of them theorizing that their powerful cryomancy shall quell Blaze's flames, thus preventing him on destroying everyone and everything they cherish. They hardly noticed a few more of the cohorts who had just returned after aiding Taven to his mother's lost temple. Kwai just scuffed on them, his mind still hyper-focused on the oncoming threat. Well, that's good to know. Thomas was sober enough to explain their predicament. We have been hyper-fixated on the Battle of Armageddon and the Hellspawn Blaze, as summarized by Lord Raiden. It seems like a collateral situation, as our old nemesis would be brought back too. As their cohorts became irritable and seeing Sector and Oniro again, Frost tried to numb their anxieties. We must unite, with all of our allies across all the realms. It's the only way we can win this. So you're all dealing with the fire elemental and the restoration of our enemies. I wouldn't hesitate to kill them all as the Lin Kuei's most trusted assassin. It was Bihan! Brother! I am myself again. I had been found by these three warriors. After I found Taven, who unlocked the secrets of Dahlia's abandoned temple, I was escorted here. I'm quite impressed you moved to the most frigid parts of the world. Despite his stoic, he was amazed. Yes, indeed we have. So you're the Grand Master's lost brother, and you're no longer your tainted self. Welcome to the new Lin Kuei, Bihan. She made a curtsy and the rest of the crew bowed. I was lost after my eviction from the Netherrealm. I was slain by a woman possessing light who had a dagger that was said to slay demons. Ashra, she was the one who saved you. Ashra? Why does that name sound familiar? Frost just stepped over and grabbed his hand. Come! You should see how we transformed the Lin Kuei. Your brother was a true hero, even overriding the Cyber Initiative. And even Serena joined our ranks. Serena? Where is she? How can she defect from the nether realm? Both of the fair ladies did. Ashra is now the goddess of light of Earth realm. Raiden anointed her. She's now looking out for her. Something about being bound to Quan Chi. Kwai finally found his words. Brother, we must depend on you. I will show you the reformations later. But first, we must prepare for Armageddon. And Blaze, I know. With the strength of our ice combined, we for sure can take out Blaze and douse his devastating flames. She couldn't hide her enthusiasm. You and your brother working together as one, at long last. If all the realms should end. If that should happen, then I will die with honor. It has been too long, younger brother. And I see you wear the Sacred Dragon Medallion. Yes, I do. And I wear it pridefully, that even our ancestors would. That's not till later, but we must prepare. All of existence depends on this one battle. Master Raiden's orders. Everyone knew that Bi-Han would be reluctant as they looked at him quizzically. If it's to save all of existence instead of a petty bounty hunting job, then so be it. I just hope Scorpion won't get in my way. The events in mythology Sub-Zero. Then, let's make this official. I'm honored to have you fight by your side. Kwai bowed low, and his brother did. Thus they'd done something they never thought they could. Make a tight handhold as strong as the everlasting snow in all of Arctica. So they finally reunited. Back in Orin's cavern, Taven was sitting in front of the same monolith he awakened from, taking in his guardian's advice as he talked to him from afar and telepathically. So my parents' quest was all a setup. They only wanted us revved up to fight each other, and whoever survived our quarrel would destroy Blaze and attain his flames. Yes, his flames can grant the desire of its wielder, but they still remain corruptive. I did not agree with your parents, Taven, but I had no objection. My duty was only to protect you until you were ready for Armageddon. Why can't we just work together to take down Blaze? Unless it was all yin and yang, Taven. There was no agreement, and that was why you two always competed, to be the better prodigal son. This is madness! I can't understand why we were destined to fight each other to the death. And all the realms in ashes. No wonder my brother has gone mad. There is still hope. You mustn't let your fate cloud your judgment. My savior stated we have a right to choose our own destiny. We are responsible of our fates, instead of being bound to them. What must I do? Continue your quest, become the champion, and decimate Blaze, and perhaps reason this with your brother. Where is Dagon now? He is in Outworld. He shall be assembling the forces of darkness and march en route to Edenia, at the pyramid of your father. Very well. Open a portal there. Orin did just that as he conjured a lime rip. Go. Straight ahead in the enemy's stronghold, Khan's deserted fortress. I must warn you, Taven. If you should ever spot any opposing forces of Edenia, do not be tempted to kill them. Why not? They must be mortally wounded, crippled in battle. Otherwise, they may be restored completely if their souls are taken to the Netherrealm by Shinnok. Divided, they will be conquered, and Armageddon may not be as overwhelming. Taven just realized Orin's epiphany. I see. I will head straight to it, Orin. Good luck, and may the Elder Gods protect you. Taven bowed before he headed straight through the portal and arrived at the foreboding terrain. Minutes later, Kung Lao, Aiko, and Caro finally followed Raiden out of the Dragon Grotto. It was quite refreshing and rejuvenating to bathe in the Jinsei and be exposed by the calming effects of nature. They all wished they would preserve all of this tranquility if they should survive Armageddon, despite their minds being full of doubt. Raiden then paused and coaxed the Red Dragon. Caro, you seem to know who that Earthrealmer is, the one that saved you. Perhaps you can inform him on where we stand, and convince him to help us win over Blaze and our gathering enemies. I know his identity must remain secret, but if he is Liu Kang, there is still hope for us all. I'll see what I can do, and I hope Orin has warned Taven about the quest that drove Dagon irate. Wherever Dagon will end up, we must be prepared for what's to come. I hope he and Orin would still watch over him, and may the Elder Gods will too. Caro bowed as he stuck out his forked tongue like a snake before he went through. After hearing a distant scuffle consisting of disturbed foliage and thunderous stomps, the Oriental braced himself for the intruder. He took the forefront, shielding the Edenian and Orin, while he braced for a possible invasion. Intensely focused, he was barely able to see a long crimson neck with a pair of giant bat wings and a flat snout with glazing wide eyes while sticking out its forked tongue. Only Orin identified the newcomer. Caro! At the sound of his name, the elemental eased up, and the other worlder observed the two beasts nuzzle each other as they let out some subtle growls. Another family reunited, the Edenian chimed. Eventually they parted, discussing it had been too long of a time since they had been together for over thousands of years, and how their bound destinies always drove them apart and succumbed to long-term abuse. And if it weren't for the humans' good deeds... Enough, Caro and Orin. He interrupted the tender moment. We still must ensure Taven's safety. He is now traversing into Outworld, in search of his fallen brother. I am certain Dagon must have been lurking there with his organization many times. And the Elder Gods forbid this if Khan is there. He needs help now, following his corrupt brother into Khan's abandoned tower. He needs help now, following his corrupt brother into Khan's abandoned tower. It's suicide. Then let us hope he shall get the assistance he needs. So, they're actually going with him. They're going to watch over him. But he must not be tempted to assassinate his pursuers. There should be some stragglers he can recruit. He cannot go through this alone. I may try and help him indirectly. He will not let all the realms fall. The quartet's eyes were glued through the mythical portal of light, praying things won't take a turn for the worst. I didn't think of an outro theme for the chapters until later, which was something I already played. During Lao's, Aiko's, and songs. It was difficult to come up with more scenarios to prepare the warriors for Armageddon, even when I tried to make the connections in Edenia, the Link Way, and to reunite the two dragons. Something that Mortal Kombat Armageddon failed to do as they were both killed. They never explained much on what would be going through the combatants, at least not the heroes' minds, they should gather for Armageddon. Whenever I should delve deeper into Taven's quest, it keeps getting worse, like in Shijinko's. So I just threw in whatever I could to put two and two together, even though I still want to highlight others like Cabal and Striker before the shit hits the fan. A lot of scenarios have been altered too, like having the real amulet sealed in the temple, Baraka joins the team, having Bihan, Liu Kang, and Hanzo as human, having Raiden as his pure self, etc. And none of this has ever been easy. Sometimes I feel Armageddon was just a rush job, and a conclusion that never came to be due to fan demand and greed. All good things must come to an end. I hope MK1 better not be a letdown. So another chapter over and done with. Hopefully I can make some more progress aside from all these fulminations. God damn it. I really hate how the series has become after Armageddon. So, until the next chapter, this is the Ikran Writer signing out.